It's not about the food, it's about addiction. We became a nation of addicts. And food was the next step into the addiction. And how we got there, you can thank, oddly enough, not the food companies, but big tobacco.
The food industry and the processed food industry was created by the cigarette industry. So in the 1990s, the two largest food companies in the world were R.J. Reynolds and Philip Morris. What happened is when the Surgeon General way too late in the 1980s said cigarettes were maybe problematic, these were some of the largest companies in the world with the largest cash piles of any company in the world. So what they did is they used their cash piles to buy food companies. We think about the 80s as the Wall Street era M&A, a lot of deals. The two biggest M&A deals up until 1990 in world history were cigarette companies buying food companies. So you had in the 90s these two cigarette companies very strategically do two things. They shifted their thousands of scientists who were experts at making cigarettes addictive to the food department. So we had the rise of ultra-processed food where our food now is a science experiment.
Which is scary, but true. And the interesting thing is, we've touched on this a little bit, but you can hire scientists to get you any result you basically want when it comes to things like food, smoking. Even like the polls, like, okay, who did the poll? Like when we talk about polls, Trump's polls are in the dumper. Well, first of all, who cares? What matters? There's only a few polls that actually matter. Right. And he puts too much thought into that stuff. And lets it get to him too much. The fact that he came out yesterday and said, I might sue these poll companies. We should go after them. Like, really? Really? That's what you're thinking about? You got other things to do. Focus on that. But you can go and find the right scientists to do certain things that will give you the results you want so you could take it out and go, see, all this sugar, it's delicious. It's great for you. You don't need protein. You need junk.
The second thing they did is they created the food pyramid. So the cigarette industry, through the food companies they bought, paid off the FDA, the USDA, Harvard to create reports saying sugar doesn't cause obesity. And they lobbied for the food pyramid in the 1990s, we all remember, which said, animal-based fats are bad, carbs are good. Remember, carbs and sugar were basically the base of the pyramid. And that shifted. And you look at dietary patterns. Today, a child diet is 70% ultra-processed food. Now, what does that mean, right? Those are literally foods invented by the cigarette industry to addict kids.
And that's what it is. Tricking your mind to get you the right kind of, like, what can we do? What can we use? The right sweetness, the right sugar, the right this, the right salt, the perfect balance of whatever it is we need, sweet, hot, whatever it is, and deliver it to you so your brain will react to it over and over. And I found this on CNN. This was interesting. So this guy does a study on ultra-processed foods, right? Like they feed it to him. He's got a watch on. He goes through all this stuff. And it's interesting to see the way that his body handles it. Because think about this. Think about, as we talked about yesterday, not just the shorter lifespan, but think about all the other stuff out there when it comes to, even if you're fit, this is going to cost you money in the future because, well, healthcare, the cost of healthcare, the rising cost of day-to-day healthcare, which you're like, I'm fit. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because the rest of the world, in particular us, we're not fit.
Sam Srasada has been living in this hospital room at the National Institutes of Health for 2 weeks.
Do you have wearables on, tracking everything?
Yes, so I do have a couple of these sensors.
He's not sick. He's a participant in a clinical trial, one of the first of its kind, measuring his movement, his blood, his gut microbiome, even the air he breathes, all to try to better understand how our health is affected by ultra-processed foods.
Oh, I think your food's coming in.
Ooh, yummy. I hope he got something good. Do you think he got? And some of it's genetics with life, right? Some of it's genetics. Clean living, don't drink, don't smoke, that's kind of, but the foods, what are we going to see in the future? We should see people living longer. We're only living longer because medicine's gotten better and is keeping us alive. That's a big reason why we're living longer. When's the last time you had something that had really no process whatsoever? It's just, just grain and whatever. And what's that grain made out of? That's the other thing, too. Because, again, it's all Franken stuff.
We saw the kind of food he got. It had eggs and spinach and yogurt. Well, we don't know. That could be processed. It could be unprocessed. That's part of the trial.
Ultra-processed foods contain additives and ingredients you wouldn't find in your own kitchen.
Are ultra-processed foods just junk foods?
What we often think of as junk foods probably captures a big chunk of the ultra-processed foods. But there's a lot of things that people would be surprised that are in the ultra-processed foods category. Things like whole grain breads that you might buy from the supermarket. Most of those are considered ultra-processed because of some of the additives and preservatives that are in there, as well as how they're manufactured.
Yeah, it's not like... We used to buy this bread from the Yoders. So, oddly enough, in Arizona, we did not have the Amish, but we had a lot of Mennonites. And with the Yoders down the streets, bye, Mennonites. And we go get bread by them. Man, that was real bread. Like, they were... I bet. There was nothing in there that was, you know, when you go to the store and you're like, I like this bread. It's got a horse on it. Looks good. Then you look in the back and it's like made of stuff that you're like, there's a reason Twinkies will live forever. Like, isn't that scary? What lives forever? Cockroach and Twinkies.
There's a lot of debate about whether or not all ultra-processed foods are bad for you.
And that's what this trial is trying to find out.
What are the mechanisms? What is it about this category of foods that is driving people to overconsume calories?
Their hyperpalatability, when foods contain just the right combinations of salt, sugar, fat, and carbs to make us not want to stop eating them.
That's it right there. It's about the perfect sweetness, saltiness, makes for tastiness. It's the taste. But then your body tricks itself, thinks it's hungry, because in reality, it's not consumed what it really needs. Have you ever noticed when you're sick, your body will override all this stuff and it will say, I need this or I need that, because your body knows. But then your brain will go into certain things when you're like out going, oh, I need French fries. And I love French fries.
How is that ultra processed?
It's all based on the ingredients. So the eggs that we used in that omelet, the egg whites were a liquid egg product. So it has ingredients in it that make it ultra processed. It's not just egg. So our yogurts, the pancake syrup that was in the yogurt, those all have ultra processed ingredients in terms of added flavors, added sweeteners.
The next day, Sam would switch to meals that were more energy dense and hyper palatable.
By understanding how the food environment actually does shape our metabolic health, we hope to basically improve the food supply in the future.
And the more that I look at this, and we talked about it yesterday, because Ken, you did it in your story about how this stuff is leading to all the crap. People are dying from this early.
Inflammation.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. I mean,
sodium.
Like, think about how many people do you know now have, fibromyalgia, women and stuff? Why? Because it's all crap we eat. My wife talks about it because she will go through flares and she's like, only when I'm really eating clean. But here's the other thing. Man, it's expensive as hell to eat like all of this stuff that's supposed to be super clean for you.
It is.
This stuff is plastic and it's fast and they produce it in quantities.
Yeah. You can get a big old bag of chicken nuggets for like $7.
Oh my God. You know what, dude?
And it may not even be chicken.
We get this chicken from Costco and it's chicken. It's spicy chicken. Oh, it's delicious.
Yeah.
But I'm sure if I looked on the back of it, the reason it's as big as it is because I got to put all that stuff in it.
Yeah.
What do you mean my chicken has steroids? He's rather big. Look at me there.
This chicken weighed 35 pounds.
Oh, good God. Everybody's got their thing, and we as a nation, we also like it. We're fast, too. That's the other side of it. We want food fast. We're not there to eat it. Food should be to keep us alive, right? Everything within moderation, right? You don't want to we've all met people that are, you ever met those people that, like, they only eat clean? You ever go to their house? You're like, is this one of those places I have to eat before?
Yeah, there's not going to be anything there you want to eat when you get there.
Yeah, so it's like within moderation. I saw a lady yesterday. I don't know did you see the lady who had never had meat in her life? She was like 35.
No.
Yeah, her family was vegetarian. She was a vegetarian, but she'd been craving it, so they took her to an In-N-Out burger. And she took a bite, and her first words were like, "Mother, oh my God, where has this been?
All my life. This is heaven on a bun."
It is. Oh, my Lord. I I know. I mean, I'm one of these people. I need to eat better. I mean, even now, I'm drinking an energy drink. Ghost, by the way, fantastic. Tastes delicious. But I'm sure not everything in there's, I'm not saying it's not kosher, because it probably is.
What are the first 3 ingredients?
Okay. Let's just put it this way. I'm going to need a magnifying glass for this one. The first 3 ingredients are...
Probably water.
Yes. And then lots of... Oh, my Lord. I mean,
that doesn't bode well.
You know what? Here's the other thing. This is what my wife says, too. Have you ever had, like, where you walk around and he goes, that have cyanide in it? I'm like, what do you mean cyanide? Because energy drinks, a lot of them will have some cyanide in it.